Hello guys, hello and welcome back to another 4 issues of the Fanhome Fast and Furious Dodge Charger, and obviously this month we've got issues 39, 40, 41 and 42. We're obviously going to be carrying on from where we left off. Now, last issues we did the differential, the drive shaft and the leaf spring. And obviously, we're carrying on from that. We're also adding everything onto the chassis. So at the side here, we've got the chassis and everything else. So yeah, let's crack on and get on with this. So this is going to get a lot bigger and obviously, you know, a lot more detail in this. So starting off with issue 39, saying about speed and style. It's going on about Tokyo Drift. And about the cast in Tokyo Drift as well. We've got the Dodge Omni, or Omni, however you pronounce that. And we're also doing the right rear leaf spring. So obviously we're carrying on from which this is the left rear leaf spring. So we're doing that. And obviously adding that all together. There's another picture there showing where it would be on the actual chassis. Then you've got your completed section, how the components are treated, so a bit of treatment on the components of the engine, and a bit of intel and things like that, and obviously a bit of tuning stuff there as well. So let's okay, so yeah, we've got this bit and then that is it basically. So let's get this one opened. There we go. Okay, so we have in here, we have FM screws, we have AM screws, and we also have the big OM screws as well. So let's drop all these out. So all these parts are metal, as you can see. And yeah, let's see what we can do now. So the first part we need is this one here, and we need to make sure it is the right way around, which is that way. So we've got the slant moving that way, and then we've got the holes either side, and then there's also a hole underneath there, as you can see. It says align the smallest hole in the leaf spring shackle 39D, which is one of these little shackle pieces, the 2 holes. I don't think it really matters which way it goes. And then basically we've got to line it up with a corresponding hole. So we've got a hole there and a hole there. And then we've got to attach that with a AM screw. So we've got to do that on both sides. Let's just get the 2 AM screws. So as you can see, we've got the first one there showing, and then obviously it's a repeat for that side. So we shall get the shackle or the screw and then get the shackle on. So get the screw in the hole first for the shackle. Make a start on that one. There we go. So we've then got that lined up, as you can see, and then just go through and tighten it up. Just make sure that it is the right way around, or facing the right way, of course. So that's got to be facing upwards, like so. There we are. So we've got the first one on there like that, and then we'll do the same again with the second one. So then put the screw into the shackle piece, one of the holes of the shackle. Oh, it doesn't want to play ball by doing that. Okay, so we shall do it the other way around. There we are. And then that is in position, so we then tighten that up like so. Okay, there we go. So we then got the whole lot there together. The shackle, the leaf spring hangers. So this is the shackle and these are the leaf spring hangers. So what we then do is we then get the leaf spring itself, making sure that it's the longer side. So it's this side here. And we've then got to attach that there on that. And that is with an OM screw. So we just get the one OM screw out. Like so. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's a bit of a tight fit on that, isn't it? So, okay. There we go. So it's got to be that way around then. Because they're not right. Okay. So we then get that again. Line it all up. There we are. Making sure we got the screw lined up properly. And then we can screw that. Oh, ouch. There we go. Screw that all into place. Like so. But then, okay. So give us a second, I've just got to make sure that is in place. 1 second. Okay, now we're back. We're just basically making sure that that was in properly. It wasn't, this little screwdriver wasn't actually screwing that all together properly. So anyways, now we've done that, we can then move on. Okay, so we then got these two pieces here. It says align the front leaf spring mounting bracket 39B, which is this little piece here, with the holes in the front of the leaf spring hanger, which is this one, 39C, as the illustration shown. So with this, we then got to make sure that the triangular bit, or the F bit there, goes the right way around. And then just line that up, and then they are put together with 2 FM screws. There you go. Okay, so we've got the 2 FM screws out. And then we attach that one first, making sure it's all lined up. And then we can tighten everything up afterwards. There we go. So that's that one. There we go. Okay, so there you are. Oh, that's not actually fitted properly. So that first one didn't go all the way down. There you go. Okay, so also what you want to do as well is when it comes to this, you want to make sure that this little cut off area is facing at the bottom, and then this slight angle is at the top as well. Okay, so we've got that. We then grab this back again, the smaller, or we've then got the shorter side of the leaf spring, and then all we do is we put that together like so, and then attach that with another OM screw. Okay, so you feed that through, which it isn't going through that way for some reason, because that hole is smaller, even though it shows in the instructions to put it through that way. But the instructions can be a little bit deceiving. Okay. So then get the bigger screwdriver that I've got here, and that will then ensure everything is tightened up like so. And there we go. We've then got the whole lot complete there, and it says you have now prepared right rear leaf spring, which later will be installed on your model car. So we'll put that to one side. Move this book over, and now we move on to issue number 40. Obviously we're going on about drifting, and obviously more about Tokyo Drift as well, with Sean and the car that he practiced drifting in. And then we've also got the Mustang as well. We've also got the Dodge 400/600, and in this one we're attaching the leaf springs to the axle. So obviously we've got the 2 leaf springs, and we're then attaching it to this section here as well, before then obviously adding everything. So we've then got all the shock absorber bits, we've got springs, we've got U-clamps, and then we've got little nuts as well. So that's going to be a lot of stuff going through on what we're doing. This goes on about suspension and shock absorbers and how they work. Obviously a bit of information there as well, and a bit of diagram on how the shock absorbers are as well. And there we go. Right, so we shall move on. So we go to the first. We'll get this lot out first. We'll leave this lot in the bag, or in the packaging, I think. But we are, in this one we have a load of AM screws again. We have FM screws, and then we've also got the bag of little nuts as well that will go onto the U-clamps there. So, okay, so it says, with the pieces facing the same way as the illustration, align the eye of one of the shock absorbers pistons, 40E, which is this one here, or one of these pieces. So we've got, this is the shock absorber piston, and then it also says with the corresponding eye on the left leaf spring plate 40A, and it's marked with the letter L. So I don't think it's that one. No, that is the right side. So then we need this piece here, which we then connect it up with this little hole there, and that is attached with an AM screw. So what I'm going to do is empty this AM screw bag out. There we go. Okay, so what we then do is we then put the screw into the hole of the piston first, and then attach that all together. So that's now made the start on that, and then we tighten that up, making sure it's nicely secured. You don't want anything falling off or anything. So I just undo that slightly by a little turn, so it's still free to move and no risk of breaking. Okay, and then what we do is we then take the left rear leaf spring, which was this one here, 30, yeah, take the rear axle as well, so we need the rear axle and the leaf spring. So we've then got this, and we then position it that way round. What we then do is we then line the hole up that is on the leaf spring and position it with the 2 pins there. So we then got it sat on there like so, and then we also we then take the shock absorber section, which is here, and then that will sit on the top there of that, and that is all attached with an FM screw. So I will get an FM screw out as well. There we go. So we'll get that lined up. So following through the hole there onto the axle, it then connects it all up to the leaf spring. There we go. So making sure that's all perfectly lined up. Oh, there we go. There we are. So we've then got one leaf spring and shock absorber together, like so. And then what we need to do, it says take two U-bolts to cover over the axle from underneath. The ends of the U-bolts must enter the corresponding holes in the leaf spring plate. And then obviously it goes on here as well, saying put a hex nut on each of the ends here. So then we need to take the bag of the hex nuts as well. So I'll empty that bag out of the hex nuts. So this could be a little bit of a fiddly job. As I'm not too sure on how this would go. Make sure that everything is lined up, of course. Okay, so then we've got the first one in there, like so. Okay. Okay, so what I shall do as well is I shall do this off camera quickly and I'll come back, so 1 second. Okay, and now we're back. Now, I have actually skipped through the whole lot as well, which obviously, as you can see, it now does actually complete the whole lot. It is quite fiddly. The thing that I didn't realise is that you do actually get like a little spanner type thing for the nuts to go on. But like I said, it is still fiddly, and yeah, just sort of the only thing that I would recommend is when you put these little hex nuts on, screw them up with your hand first, and then use your little screw device thing as well. So anyways, as I was saying, that now completes that stage. We'll now move on to issue 41, which is going to obviously be quite a bit in this one, but we shall see that in a minute. So we've got Han saying about Han, the true story. Obviously we first meet him in Tokyo Drift. It goes on about the actor that plays him as well. The Dodge Circuit EV concept. We're then attaching the rear axle, and obviously we've got one of our first wheels as well. And then goes on about the whole lot of adding everything to the chassis, which we've got out to the side as well, and then obviously building up the wheel. saying it's all about the setup and obviously race modes and everything else for race and road, and that's about it. So what we then do is, what we shall do first is we shall, because obviously it's going to be a fairly substantial size, we shall move on to the wheels first and do the wheel first, and then bring the chassis over, and then yeah, we've then got that sorted out then. So we'll get these out first. So we've got a big thick tyre as well, and then we've got the rims, or the pieces for the rim. Then also got the little valve cap for the wheel. We've got IM screws, and we've also got HM screws, and then we've got the little hubcap to go on as well. Right, so while we are doing this, what we need to do first is we then get the little valve cap, and there is a little pin just there as well. As you can see, there's a little pin there, and that is where your little valve cap would go. So we then get that and place that on the pin like so. So it's just a push to fit on that. Okay, so then we got the tyre, making sure it's the right way around. That will then go on like so, and then we get the other bit, lining all this lot up with the 3 holes and the pins as well, as you can see. So we then line the 2 pins up, and they will go this way around. Should go that way around, like so. It's not wanting to fully go in. Let's pull that back out again, making sure it is lined up properly, of course. There's only one way that it could go. Which is that way there. It doesn't want to line up with the corresponding holes. It's a bit odd, that is. Not too sure as to why it doesn't. Okay, give us a second, I shall line these up. Right, okay, and now we're back. That was a bit of a tight fit, actually. It was a bit of a struggle putting the holes with the pins, but we managed to squeeze it all together, and that is now the 3rd wheel done that we've got. Obviously, we're not going to be doing anything at the moment with that. So what we need to do is we need to move everything out of the way, because what we need to do is now bring the chassis over. So we move that out of the way, and then what we need to do is flip this round so it's upside down, and bring this over to that position there. And then we've got all the components to put on. So we've got the absorber and the leaf spring and the springs to put on, and then other bits. So first of all, it says get the chassis and very carefully put it upside down, which we've done on a work surface. Find the end of the gearbox and insert the locating pin on the prop shaft, i.e. the end with the smallest diameter, as shown in the illustration. Okay, so as you can just about see, so we'll move that into positions. We need to find the gearbox and it's the one with the smaller diameter, which is this end here, and then we line it up with a hole at the end like so, and then that is pretty much it for that. But for some reason it tells you to put that in, but you've then got to put these in, or these absorbers with AM screws from the other side. So what I shall do first is put those in and then go about adding the other bits as well. So what we need to do is just put this on its side slightly, finding the correct holes, of course. So we've got 2 holes either side. There's that one going into there. So give us another minute. I know I keep sort of coming back and things like that, but I'm just going to do this so obviously you guys can then see it afterwards. 1 second. Okay, and now we're back. That was a bit of a fiddly job, having it on its side and other things like that. Now, when you have it on your side, you're going to have to obviously hold it from one side and then screw it together. So yeah, but we've now got the drive shaft, or the prop shaft as they call it, in as well. Next thing we do is obviously we add these little springs in to the shock absorbers, ready for that. And then what we need to do is we then need to reattach the rear axle. So we need to attach everything up. Now we've also got a little pin here as well with the cable that we've got, so that needs to be attached. But what we do is we then feed this through and then attach it to the pin. If it will go, of course. I know these pins are a bit iffy. Oh, okay, so that's now come apart again. So as you can see, it is very fiddly. We just get that connected up. Like so. And there we go. Right, so what we then need to do is we then need to attach the axle to the drive shaft, and then the pistons will go into the shock absorbers as well. So this is going to be like a 3-way job type thing, where you line everything up simultaneously. So we then line that one up first, hold the axle, and then line the other sections up. So we put the pistons in. Oh, that's one in. So we've got one. Obviously, so this is a fiddly job. This is. So the axle. There we go. So that's why it wasn't actually going in properly, because the drive shaft had actually fallen out. So there we go. We've now got all of that lined up, like so. And then obviously it's all connected up. We then need to flip this over as well, making sure that we've got all of it in place. So we then, don't know how I'm going to do this, but It's going to be fun. Okay, and there we go. So we've then got that lot there connected. So we'll move the hook out of the way. So what we need to do then is we then need to start attaching everything. So we need 4 FM screws. So we've got 2 on here and 2 on here. So we shall start with the FM screws. And get that lot put together. Okay. And these are attaching the actual shackles to everything, or to the chassis. Oh. Okay. So we then put the first screw in. That's the first one in. Then grab the second one. That's the second one. And then we do the same again on the other side. Making sure that it's all in place. So just start that one off, get the other one in position. Okay. So in this lot, there is a lot of sort of turning upside down and on its side and things like that. So yeah, just be careful on what you're doing and how you obviously connect everything up. So that now concludes the front shackles, and then we need 8 M screws to then attach the rear shackles. So we then line it all up. And then we then attach it all into these 2 holes on either side. It's not going the way I want it to go. So just flip it onto its side and make sure that it is in position. So no, that isn't in position, unfortunately. Now that one is. Okay. So you heard that little click. Okay, so that's that first one started. And then the next one goes in as well. Right, okay, so what we'll do is while we've got this on its side, we shall then get the other side. Oh, and then line that up like so. Okay. And there we go. So we've then got that like so. Then get the other AM screws in to position as well. There we are. Okay, so that one's not wanting to actually screw in for some reason. is. There we go. So it's now bit on that. So we then just screw that all together and tighten everything up. There we are. And then the last one. There we are. Okay. So now that we've got all of that complete, what we then do is we then flip it on its underneath as well, or upside down again, and then we get the wheel that we did at the beginning, making sure that the wheel is lined up, and then we attach that with an IM screw. So we get the IM screw, which is one of the longer ones with a flange on it, and then we attach that to the center of the wheel. So we then got that going all the way through. Just making sure that your wheel doesn't wobble like it is there. So we then get the bigger screwdriver. Like so. That's gone a bit too tight on that, so just loosen it off a little bit. There we go. And then what we do is we then get the wheel hub. Oh, try and do that. There we go. And then we get the wheel hub and then we put that into place. Like so. Oh, that one's not going in the hole there. There we are. So that is now that done, and that now completes that issue as well. So we shall move that to that side. So that now completes issue 41. So we've now got the wheel on in and on, or whatever you want to call it. So we now move on to issue 42. So as you can see, we've now got the last book, and then we were on about Neela, the driver in the blue car. She drives the Mazda RX-8, and she's from Tokyo Drift as well. And then we've got the Dodge Fire Arrow, and then saying mounting the right rear wheel, and attaching it all like that. Okay. So that is that, and then going on about more suspension as well. So I think I've actually got that wheel on the wrong place there. I'm not too sure. Yeah, that should have been on the other side. So I shall sort that out once off camera anyways. Which then means that I won't actually put this wheel on until the end, because I've also just noticed as well I left the little washer out, but I will sort that one out once I'm done. So we know how this one goes. We don't really need the book at all, so making sure that is the right way around. Get all these out, and then we've got the little valve cap and the other bits as well, all the little individual bits for the wheel. So first thing that we do, obviously we've done this quite a few times now, all we need to do is get this little valve cap and then put it into the corresponding locating pin. Okay, and then what we then do is grab the wheel or the tyre, place the front section in, and then we then locate these with the 2 locating pins again. Hopefully this one does actually go together a little bit better, a little bit easier than it did with the other one, which seems okay in a way. But what I will probably do is just get that first screw in like I did with the first wheel, and then that will just sort of clamp that down a little bit. Okay, so that's the first screw in. So we go for the second one. And now let's just push those pins together. That's that one. And then the last one. There we go. And they are all attached with the 3IM screw or HM screws. So just go around and tighten everything up like so. And now that completes the whole lot. Like I said as well, we've got the other wheels the wrong way around. So we've got this other wheel on, this should be on the other side, which I didn't do, but I will go back and do that after as well. So so yeah, that now completes everything. We've now got the rear axle and suspension completed. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as well. If you have, then drop a thumbs up, drop us a comment, let us know what you think as well. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, whether it's this build or streams or anything like that, I shall catch you in the next video. Bye bye.